Yeah.
What's happening, people? Hopefully you're having a fantastic end of your weekend. I know it's a Sunday where you are. Our weekend's already started over here. It's a Monday, and
That's right.
we are excited to get into some mock drafts with you. Season's getting closer and closer. We got a little taste. We got a little tease, of some NFL action this weekend. I got a video coming out tomorrow morning. I think there are some actionable things we can take away from preseason week 1. Yeah, a lot of it is not actionable. A lot of it we don't need to worry about. But I think there are some things that we can take away, and that video is coming out tomorrow. Hopefully that's helpful for y'all. But let us know who's in the chat. We see you, Daniel Macy. 25 days until kickoff. We are getting closer and closer. What's up, Matthew? Welcome in. What's up, Golf Burke? Jake says I'm drafting in a 10-man here, so I'm here to study. I love it. Dominic says drafting from the 10 spot. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. What's up, NMB? Jake Johnson, Sunraker, Rockstar, G Money, Steel Mob. What's Gucci, guys? Scribbles, welcome in. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Okay, so outside of Trey Lance just being an absolute superstar and not being able to score any points versus the 4th team offense, there's not much else to talk about from today's games. Bo Nix looked okay.
I haven't watched Bo Nix yet. That's literally the first thing I looked up when I first woke up.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch it, but I mean, he didn't do terrible.
No, he looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
I will say, and I don't want to overreact to this, okay? And I know people think I'm like anti-Colts. Have you watched any of that game at all?
No, I have. The 2 games today I haven't watched so far.
Okay, you haven't watched.
Yeah.
I expected to see like better touch on Anthony Richardson's throws going into year 2, and maybe that's unfair to me. Like, again, it's preseason. I'm not going to overreact. I still think he can finish as the quarterback 1 overall this year with how good he is. But did anyone else in the chat feel like you were a little bit let down by like the touch on A-Rich? It felt like that hasn't improved. That's always been a concern for me. Maybe, again, I don't want to overreact. It's only like 2 drives, okay? But
yeah,
there were still those inaccuracies that we saw out of Florida. And hey, maybe it was just the first game jitters. Who knows? I'm sure he'll be better, but that was something that I did notice.
For me, throughout the week, the team that I wanted to look at, because I'm really anti this team outside of one person, that is the Saints. Derek Carr, it's not happening for the Saints offense. if they can't do it against the second team or some ones, and the majority rest are 2s or potentially 3s, and they can't drive the ball down the field with Derek Carr in the full offense with Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, the whole crew on, that's a huge concern. Because you guys know me, I'm anti-Olave for these reasons that I'm seeing here in preseason. But once again, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe in season it's a little bit different.
I think I'm probably overreacting a little too much to Anthony Richardson because I have priors. I think you're probably overreacting a little too much to the Saints because you have priors. So yeah, there's probably a little combination of it going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to know what is happening right now.
What happened?
Are you getting that audio? I'm getting like that audio when someone subscribes from ages ago that we had. It's screaming in my ear right now.
I do not hear that.
Okay, well, this is a serious problem because all I'm hearing in my ear right now is, why y'all wait this long, man? Back to back to back to back to back. You remember that, DK Metcalf?
Yeah, why y'all wait this long, man?
It's literally like never ending.
There should be like an effects sound on Streamlabs that you can turn off.
Is it? Can you listen to the stream? Is it happening on the stream as well or no?
No, it's not happening in stream. Not happening in stream at all.
Oh my gosh, this is infuriating. I don't
hopefully
know where to turn this
hopefully
off.
It's not glitch. Turn off everything. I mean, as he figures that out.
I figured it out.
Okay, perfect.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys, but we used to like when we were we used to have a notification that came up when someone subscribed. It was DK Metcalf, and his draft day call, and he's like, "Why y'all wait this long, man?" He started crying and stuff. And I swear to you, just back to back to back to back to back to back to back in my ear right then. Anyway, all right, so we're doing a mock draft. If people want to join, how can they get in?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. That link is in the chat, and that link is also in the description. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs to the left of your screen there. You can see announcements. That's exactly where you can join each and every mock draft for the foreseeable future. Keep in mind, it is first come, first serve. It's a good opportunity for you guys to get in and mock with us now before, as we get closer and closer into season, it's going to get impossible to get into some of these. It's impossible to get some of these now. Okay. So once again, join our Discord, go to Fantasyland tab under announcements, and I'll send that link out here. 3, 2, 1. That link is out.
People are going to join that. Do us a favor, guys. Go ahead and hit that like button. We got a like goal today of 70 likes, 75 rather. If we reach that goal, we'll pop off 2 mock drafts for you on tonight's stream. So be a friend, smash that like button, show some love. We'll catch up with the chat here once we get rolling. But be a friend, hit that like button. Let's hit that 75 like goal together. And if we do, we'll pop off another mock and we'll keep this party going. Now, this is going to be a 1 quarterback PPR start 9. We will do no premium here, start 9. I had a couple people comment and say, hey, a lot of people play in a start 7 league. You should do a start 7 mock. So I was wondering if we should do that at some point this stream. I don't know. Let me know. But
maybe that could be the second mock draft for some people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the second one.
Here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Some good stuff though out of preseason. I mean, there's some exciting things to see how these guys can definitely get into the flow of things. Obviously, looking at all the starting quarterbacks, Daniel, JJ, Bo. I honestly haven't even watched every rep from Drake May, so I need to go back and watch that. I know it was raining, so that was a little bit more of harder to potentially control. But there's some good stuff coming out of a lot of these teams in preseason.
There's definitely some information we can glean from. I think specifically usage. When you look at like when the starters were out there, I think the usage is important. Scribble says, Zach, I'm so in love with Wicks. He continues to shine, but they are being so stubborn with him as a 4th guy. It's hilarious because if anyone out there is like me, the Dontavion Wicks hype train type of people, we love the guy. We think he's super talented. We call him the Baba Yaga. You know, if you're out there like me and you love Wicks, then you're kind of frustrated about what happened preseason week 1 because he caught a huge touchdown. It's like, wait, I don't want anyone to talk about this name. I want him to be available late in my drafts. And I'm worried that this is going to push his ADP up too high. But it is kind of funny that the starters are out there and like the guy shining is Dontavion Wicks. I mean, I know you're not a Wicks guy, but come on, like that was pretty good to see.
I think yes, it was good to see. I don't know. I just don't think maybe that's realistic, but I could be wrong. Is he going against the 2s? Is he going against the 3s? Was that the first offense? Right? I think there's a lot of context there. But like, look, if that continues to go on throughout preseason,
I can tell you all that context if you want to know it. It was with the 1s. It was the first drive of the game.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about defense. Okay, versus other teams' ones. Okay, that's fair. That's all I can say. That's fair.
Yeah. So the Dontavion Wicks train is not stopping. And for better or worse, it's left the station, unfortunately, when ADP comes into play, I think. But, all right, trying to catch up with the chat. Let's see. 369 says, did y'all see Washington's usage with the starters in the first quarter? Yes. Slot roll was with Jahan Dotson. We saw pretty much a straight split between Eckler and B-Rob. What was a little bit concerning was to see Eckler get work on the goal line. That's what concerned me the most personally. I did not expect Eckler to be very involved on the goal line, so I'm not saying I have to like change my expectations, but it's definitely something to monitor.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm on the clock here. Definitely something to monitor. I'm going to go 2 running backs here.
Okay.
Let's try Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson
B-Rob
here.
and Derrick Henry to start here for Badaki at the 108.
Let's see how we go. But I can understand the concern with Austin Eckler and B-Rob at the goal line there. Yeah. It's so hard to like really buy into anything that I'm seeing at the moment. But yes, I can see how if that can translate in the season, that's a huge concern.
Sure. Jake says, would you rather take St. Brown or Jefferson after McCarthy's performance? I'm still going St. Brown.
Yeah.
369 said it was confusing on the goal line back between Austin and B-Rob. Yep, I agree. I'm glad you got in, Dom. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Dominic says, speaking of Wicks, I traded him in a dynasty for a 5th round mid rookie. Turned it into Theo Johnson. Talk about big whiff. Oh, no. Look, it happens. It happens. His draft capital was pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Trevor to Etienne could be a big connection this year. Yeah, I've been defending Travis Etienne all offseason, and I'm still doing it. I mean, if you guys watch my Guys video that just released this morning, I'm still with Travis Etienne this year. I still think he's a very good pick. Joe's asking a great question. He says, should we be worried about CD and his contract issues with Dallas? Could that be fair reason to not draft him at top 2 or top 3?
I'm actually releasing one of the first videos on Fantasy Never Stops about that situation there, Joe. So definitely go and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed or you guys don't know, I am taking on a project. I'm going to be making a lot of short form content, still being on every single channel, but also doing completely new and relevant content of things that are happening in the NFL. So definitely go to that YouTube channel, subscribe to the shorts if you guys like short form content. So that will be answered for you in the next 24 to 48 hours. Going to
all right, so first video is coming out in 24 to 48 hours on this channel. Again, the reason we're separating them is because we want like specific short form content to live on its own. We don't want just to like repurpose all of our content and just throw it at you as shorts. So go check out that channel. Go subscribe if you want to see some more content this year from us. Okay, so catching up. In round 2, Marvin Harrison, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Drake London, Devon Achane, Deebo Samuel, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Sam Laporta, Josh Allen into round 3, Isaiah Pacheco, Brandon Ayuk, Waddle, Collins, Jacobs, Diggs.
Mike Evans.
And you go Mike Evans off the board there.
Yeah.
I do like Josh Jacobs there at the 306. We will talk about him in a video that comes out tomorrow. Nico Collins at the 305. I'll be honest, like that feels better to me. I know I had a video that came out recently about Nico Collins, about this wide receiver room. That feels better to me than like second round. Like I'm pretty consistently seeing him in the second round, like the 204 range to the 210 range. Mm-hmm. But if you know that you're going to get him as your third player, that feels better to me personally to take a shot on him in that sense.
Yeah, I mean the value there is great. I'm still happy to take him as high as a 2.9. As high as a 2.9. So it just really depends on how you feel about Nico Collins there. So I'll go Evans, Kelsey, DK, Rashad White. Now you're at the edge here at the 112.
Yeah, I'm edging at the 112. And
just gotta edge it out.
We are Fox Sport. I'm not gonna lie, dude. DJ Moore feels like after watching Caleb Williams. I don't know about you, but DJ Moore feels like, oh man, he feels like a fun pick.
I always like taking DJ Moore and his value.
For me, the issue is just like not knowing what Caleb Williams will actually be. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, we're going to grab Neighbors and Smith there. I didn't expect to start with 2 rookie receivers, but here we are, Neighbors and Smith. I drafted 2 of the highest rookie wide receivers in ADP ever, and they're my wide receiver 1 and 2, so we'll see how that works out. But Devonta Smith feels like a lot of safety there as my wide receiver 3.
Yeah, not too bad there. I thought you might have gone Cooper Kupp personally.
I definitely thought about it.
So do you have Devonta Smith over Kupp, or they're on the same tier?
Actually. I have Kupp over Smith, but sometimes you just like to try different strategies. You like to try 100%. Different players. We actually get that comment quite often, which is surprising. People expect us to draft every single mock draft exactly how our rankings are set instead of like in those tiers, in that bucket. Perfect. And we've tried to explain to people like, hey, think about it. If you had your rankings, would you draft the same way if you had 10 drafts? Would you have the same exact team in every single draft, right? Like there's a reason for tiers. There's a reason for buckets. And we try to explain that to people, but sometimes people get upset about that when they look at like a ranking video and they're like, wait, but you took that guy 2 spots ahead of that guy. It's like, well, are they in the same tier? Okay. You know?
In the same tier? No?
But, maybe I should have gone Kupp and Smith instead of Neighbors. Get a little more safety in there with Marvin already.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, this is why we mock to feel it out, see what happens there. And this is what I did. Going two running backs, getting two wide receivers there.
Yeah.
Um,
Say
I
goodbye to
almost thought
Tank
about
Dell in the
taking
fifth
trade.
round, by the way. Tank Dell's not lasting in the 5th round anymore after that touchdown in the preseason.
That's right, baby. Come on, talk it up. Been on the Tank Dell train all year long. But
Yes. Not what I thought you'd want to see, though. I thought you wouldn't want his ADP to be jumping up.
the thing is, I was always okay taking him in the 4th. He just always fell to the 5th.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really affect my thought process when it comes down to Tank and where I should be taking him. I always felt comfortable there.
Sure. Scribbles, I agree, man. He says, man, Caleb looks good. I agree. He says, I got the Mahomey tingle. I mean, to me, I was like, damn, this guy looks like he's ready to go right now in the NFL. So we might have to throw out that historical information on rookie quarterbacks and wide receivers for the Chicago Bears if he keeps performing like this in the preseason. Like, there's a scenario where preseason goes a certain way, and then we're like, okay, we're going to draft as many Bears as we can, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what he was doing, but very exciting.
Yeah. Catching up with the chat. Trey says, Rico as RB1 or Zeke? Also think Neighbors will be ready by week 1. Yes, I do. It didn't sound very serious for me.
I don't think it was serious at all, to be honest. Sorry to interrupt. Like, I think he might even play next on the second preseason game. That's how unserious it is.
So I think Neighbors will be ready. As far as Rico or Zeke, all I'll say is the starters didn't play and Zeke didn't play, but Rico did in the preseason. I mean, I'm not going to take any solid cement conclusions from that, but if you're telling me this,
cement?
You know what cement is, right?
That was yes. It was just close to something else. It was close to another word.
Okay, all right. Well, all I'm saying is, look, we can't take any serious conclusions from it, but if they rested the starters and Zeke didn't play and Rico did, I don't know. Just saying, that's something.
I would say the same thing. I would say the same thing when it comes down to I thought the same thing, but and it's a whole different team. But I thought of the Bengals with Joe Burrow, with Zach Moss. He wasn't starting, but Chase Brown was. But Joe Burrow played with T. Higgins. Obviously, Jamar Chase wasn't out there.
Well, there's a reason as to why. Zach Moss was sick with the flu, I believe.
I didn't even make a pick here. Let me just. Sorry, I'm thinking of my pick.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
There you go. I'll take Reed there.
I got all the insights if you need. That's what I've been researching for the past 24 hours. So, yeah, Zach Moss wasn't there because he was sick with the flu.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Anything usage-wise, I'm ready to go. We've got it all sorted in the brain here.
I'm ready to go.
All right, so we get Jaden Reed, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, George Kittle off the board. Was definitely hoping for some Rashee Rice on the turn here, but clearly that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, his value definitely rises, especially with Hollywood Brown suffering that injury, potentially missing a couple games.
Yeah.
In the start.
Look,
so
if there's a player that you're not obsessed with on the board and you're on the board and there's an elite tight end or elite quarterback available, I think it makes a lot of sense for you to just go that route, and that's what I just did there. So we took Patrick Mahomes there, and we'll go ahead and grab Aaron Jones. We've been believing Aaron Jones is the RB1 on this team all offseason. I know a lot of people have been like, well, Ty Chandler's there. And I've always said Ty Chandler to me is what Dameon Pierce is to Joe Mixon. Now, a report came out recently where they said Aaron Jones is going to be their RB1. I don't know that anyone doubted that, but it gives me the confidence again just to go ahead and draft Aaron Jones in the 6th round. If he can stay healthy, I feel like he's going to be a very, very good player at ADP in particular. I think he'll be used through the air. I think they'll use him on the goal line. And, if you look at Aaron Jones last year when he came back from that injury, still just as efficient, still as much juice as he possibly has ever had. I mean, in the playoffs, he was averaging like over 115 yards a game total.
Playoffs.
So we'll take Aaron Jones there for sure. The type of efficiency he has, he's like the Walmart version of Devon Achane before Devon Achane was Devon Achane. Like he's been like that, never 20 touches a game type of guy, always efficient and on a good offense. And I still think that's the case.
Okay. Where should I go?
Carlo has a great question. He says, how much of Xavier Worthy's value goes up with Hollywood Brown out? The video coming out tomorrow is the one for you, my friend. It's got all of that information. So check out the video coming out tomorrow. Yes, sir, Dom, I agree. Very exciting to do strats, see what you can pull off at different parts of the board. 369 says, yeah, seen Chase Brown getting great feedback from the coaches, how he's very reliable, even a pass blocking credit. That's great to hear for him, for sure. That's definitely an area he needed to improve on.
Yeah.
Daniel says, Vikings aren't a good offense with Darnold. I mean, I don't personally agree, but I can respect it. I mean, if they were a good offense with Josh Dobbs last year, I think they're going to be a good offense with Sam Darnold personally. And I don't see how Addison's going to miss more than 3 games. And I don't even think that happens this year. Addison's court date's like late October. And there's, in my mind, a 90% chance he has no suspension this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't personally agree.
I don't think he's going to be affected by that.
I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, but yeah, I don't personally agree. Sean says, I'm in a super flex league with, who should I keep between Breece Hall and Lamar Jackson? I have the first overall pick. Well, it sounds like you can keep both then, brother. Right? If you think about it that way, right? No? I mean, right? Like if you keep Lamar Jackson, all right, well, I got the first pick. I'll take Breece Hall. So
yeah,
it doesn't sound like you can lose.
Yeah, I don't see the problem.
Yeah. Alex says, in redraft or dynasty, would you rather have Rice or Addison? Yeah, it'd be Addison for me in both. Or sorry, Rice for me in both. Is what
Rice, yeah.
JSC says, do we think Kool-Aid McKinstry will be a top-tiered NFL defender? I got no idea. No idea. I hope so. I hope to God he is. His name's Kool-Aid. Do you know how cool that is? Absolutely, I hope he is.
Kool-Aid. He's believing in the hype of the name here.
I mean, if he's not, then it would be such a waste of an awesome potential name to cheer for. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. We've got a lot of exciting content coming on the channel, including a couple, at least 3 real live drafts for you guys that we'll show, where you can see us draft versus our followers. That will be very exciting to show you. We also have a like goal today of 75. We're only 19 likes away. If we reach that like goal, we'll do a second mock draft with y'all. So if you want the party to keep going, go ahead and do us a favor. Hit that like button to show some love. And let's reach that goal together. So Keon Coleman slipping into the 7th round now.
Yeah. I can't do it, but I mean,
I don't know.
I know a lot of people are getting excited about him and what he was doing in preseason or the couple catches he had, but I'm not buying into it.
I like Coleman this year as I thought he was a 9th round pick. But that's why we have loved Curtis Samuel and Shakir, because they're so late in drafts and they could out-target Coleman. But the Coleman hype through camp has been strong. It was funny. There was a video going around of Keon Coleman on a quick little hitch route, and it was versus zone coverage. And there was like a Bills reporter who was like, what do you guys see? Like hinting to the fact that he got separation. and because that's been a concern for Keon Coleman
Sure.
for most of his career.
Sure. Yeah.
And I just thought it was hilarious because it's clearly zone coverage, you know? So I think this was the play that came out. So no like disrespect to whoever this person is. But if you think that is what we're concerned about, Keon Coleman getting separation versus zone coverage, then you have not been listening whatsoever. Hope to God your starting receiver can get separation versus zone coverage. Please.
Please.
Oh my gosh, we might be rookie wide receiver U with this team. All right, we are going to go ahead and grab Brian Thomas here. We've been drafting him all offseason. Had a great first game as well. Man, tough spot on the board here, I think. Yeah, not in love with this spot. I think we are going to grab Evan Ingram here as our starting tight end at the 801, though. So we went back-to-back Jags. And hopefully Evan Ingram can be up there with the target leaders amongst tight ends again. Last year led the NFL in targets amongst tight ends. We're hoping that he can repeat that with this pick.
Yeah. No, definitely. Thought about Evan Ingram, but I already had another Jag. I'm hoping for another tight end here, which I'm pretty sure I will get, unless C-Dog takes him. If she doesn't, I'll take Jake Ferguson right here at the 8-5. I know he's most likely not going to come back to me.
Yeah.
From reading the board, two other teams do need a tight end.
Yeah. Cortland Sutton's not a bad pick at all, to be honest. I mean, Cortland Sutton is, like we've said this before, he's the 2001 Toyota Corolla. He's reliable. He's getting you from A to B. He's definitely the starting wide receiver one on this team, yet he's available in the 8th round. He might be the cheapest starting wide receiver on any NFL team this year. Like, genuinely.
Quentin.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Man, that's a tough preseason for Quentin there with his usage. But, yeah, I mean, it's got to be the cheapest wide receiver one on any team. I mean, I'm trying to think what other team has a cheaper wide receiver one than Cortland Sutton in the 8th round. Can't think of another team that has a cheaper wide receiver one. I mean, you can make the case for the Bills, but the Bills are now Keon's going ahead of him. The Chargers, you know, their wide receiver one's going ahead of him. Sheesh.
Yeah, he might be. He might be.
Neighbors is going ahead of him, obviously. Yeah, I think he's legitimately, now that I'm looking at all the NFL teams, I think he's legitimately the cheapest. Maybe the Patriots. The Patriots might be the other one. The Patriots probably take the cake, actually.
Yeah, probably. That's who they take. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
All right, so Zach Moss off the board, Jamison Williams off the board. We see Hollywood Brown fall to the 808. 808 and heartbreaks.
Heartbreak. That's right.
I still think Hollywood's going to be an important part of this offense. However, I do think that this opens up a window for Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, it definitely does. Gets him more opportunities. They're maybe playing that Hollywood Brown role and establishing himself. And Hollywood Brown is just an extra piece, potentially. But it also depends on how much time he is going to miss. I think for the reports I'm seeing, they're saying 4 weeks, so maybe a week or two.
When they say 4 weeks, they're referring to Tyreek's injury when he missed 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's a tough comparison because we don't know the severity of it compared to how severe it was for Tyreek. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be 4 weeks, could be 6 weeks. It's difficult to say. It could be less time. But what we do know for sure is that he is going to miss pretty much the rest of like any training camp practices or anything like that, any preseason action, any ability to, you know, continue to solidify that connection with Mahomes. So that is pretty significant, I'd say. All right, Brian Robinson off the board at the 906.
There's somebody that I do want to. Let's see if Darth is going to go that way. I feel like he might. And it
Curtis
doesn't.
Samuel at the 907. Love that pick.
All right, I'm gonna take Tajay Spears here. Smart RB3.
All right, Tajay off the board at the 908. I do love me some Tajay.
Yeah, Tony Pollard
You get him
going almost whole round.
a round after, yeah.
Yeah.
After Pollard. Definitely good value in my eyes.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, guys. We do see all the comments in the chat. We try to reply to as much of them as we can. We're trying to like mix in, like making sure we talk about the draft board and the mock draft and replying to you guys and interacting. Do not feel any pressure to do so. But if you truly just need your question answered, super chat will 100% get it answered. Otherwise, we will do our absolute best to balance between the both of those. But in the 9th round, we see David Njoku, Trey Benson, Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, Devin Singletary, damn it, Khalil Shakir goes off the board, Brian Robinson, Curtis Samuel, Tajay Spears, Romeo Doubs, and Shakira, who I was targeting with my next pick.
Shakira.
However, I do feel pretty good about, we wanted to make sure and target 2 running backs in this round. I feel great about the options here. So we're going to grab Gus Edwards as our first one. And our second running back we're going to target is going to probably be... Man, I want to know how to play this. Do I play the upside or the safety? Upside or safety here? I think we'll go upside. We'll take Blake Corum.
Okay.
Question. I guess you might not know. Does anyone know if Corum played today at all? Or did he rest? Because if he rested, that tells me they consider him very important this year. I think I have a way to find that out. Let me see here.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now.
As we see Eckler, Bowers, and Chubb off the board. Let me see here.
Okay. I'm going to take Jerome Ford here. Go another running back. Lock that up.
Okay, so I can tell you guys that for the Rams, we did not see Blake with the starters. I don't think he played.
I don't think he played. From when I looked up.
Okay, yeah, Blake Corum did not play. They rested Blake Corum. I mean, that's pretty important to me, no? They thought he was so important that they decided to rest him?
I mean, did Kyron play today?
Nope, Kyron didn't play either.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's emphasis on keeping potentially Blake healthy. But I mean, would it be a surprise if he? Like, it won't be a surprise if he plays next week, you know. So I don't know. I'm not overthinking it.
I don't feel like I'm overthinking it. I feel like it's just they're showing us how they intend to value these players. That's what I think we need to take away from these preseason games. It's not like exactly how someone performs, but when the starters are out there, or how do they treat a starter versus this player? And they treated Blake the same way this week. I'm not saying he will be a starter along with like a co-starter or anything, but he was important enough to their team to rest as a rookie in preseason. That to me signifies that he's very important to them.
Yep. Definitely can be the case. I was just trying to see who else who was in that backfield. Zach Evans was back there.
Zach Evans was there. We also got to see Boston Scott. That must have been the most boring preseason game, Rams Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely was. There's nobody on either side there. At least it feels that way. Let him fall, ladies and gentlemen. Let him fall.
All right.
I'll take him.
Adonai Mitchell at the 10-12. He did get some run today. His outlook, I don't know that it really changes because he's playing in the slot. I didn't expect that. I think we talked about that. I did not expect Adonai Mitchell to play in the slot, but they're putting him in the slot right now,
Yeah,
which is strange.
that was kind of my thing. He takes over that.
But Josh Downs will definitely be the starting slot receiver for this team when he's back.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to put Mitchell ahead of Downs as a slot receiver. That wouldn't make sense for them.
Mm.
All right, what are you thinking here?
I'm gonna go quarterback here. I don't really need to. Let me just have a look on who else. Actually, I'm gonna not go quarterback. I'm gonna go another wide receiver. I'll go Jahan Dotson here.
Okay. Yes, Tigray, we are getting a draft order for those leagues tonight.
Come on, baby.
I thought Gabe Davis might be pushed up the boards here after that performance. Now, what I found interesting was the way they used Gabe Davis. I did not expect them to use him in that fashion, like that short intermediate type of usage with the starters. So that was pretty exciting, in my opinion, to see him used that way.
Yeah. I definitely saw, I think the guy who had the least amount of snaps or opportunities was Kirk, but I'm still believing Kirk is going to be the guy there. But
you will not like the video I'm about to release then.
Oh, there you go. That's okay.
All right, we're gonna take Wicks here. I'm just trying to figure out my next pick. We will go Dontavion, the Don, the Baba Yaga, and we will grab Jalen Wright here as well.
Okay.
Last three picks just straight upside. If Kendre goes, or if Kyron goes down, Blake Corum. If Christian Watson goes down, Dontavion Wicks. If Raheem Mostert goes down, Jalen Wright. We're just snapping up any upside in these
snapping it up. All right, I'm hoping for this quarterback to come back, which I'm pretty sure it will. Good thing I did not take it. All right, I'm gonna take Jordan Love here.
Spencer says Hollywood has a foot made of glass. Now his shoulder is made of glass. I hope he can stay healthy, man. I really do. I really hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Pick 10 in a 10 team. Dustin says, any advice? My advice would be to watch this video where I break down every format on how you guys should draft in pretty much every league. So if you're sitting here and like, I have a league that's this format and this is how we play and this is the scoring, this video right here, how to win any draft, the secret to winning your fantasy football drafts this year, that's going to cover you. That's going to cover pretty much every format unless you're playing like 16 team leagues or something. So go check out that video. That's a great refresher for anyone, for really whatever format you're in. LT Gray says Mostert is the Lockett of running backs. I can see that.
Let's see. Have a look at the schedule for next week preseason.
What do you think of Ray Davis in Buffalo? Well, it's good to see for James Cook that he was pretty much on the field every snap the starters were. But for Ray Davis, it's great to see that he's the clear number 2 back there. You know, not to say that we expected anything different, but I think he's a very talented player. He's a player that Badaki and I really liked out of Kentucky. Really cool story. And yeah, I mean, overall, just I think if James goes down, that's the clear starter there.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. We've seen a lot of rotations in the past couple of years in that backfield when the starter goes down and you didn't know who to pick up. We probably told you to pick up all 2 or 3 of these backups. Now you know it's going to be Sweet Baby Ray's, which is exciting in that backfield. So love what he's going to be doing.
Quentin Johnston comes off the board at the 12.
Not me. I didn't take him. Talk it up, G-Money.
Little update on Quentin Johnston in case anybody cares. The Chargers rested their starters this preseason game. They rested their starters, and Quentin Johnston still didn't start the game. So they rested all their starters, and he still played behind DJ Chark, Brendan Rice. I don't know how many more red flags there could be. I know they keep saying, like, we have plans for him. I don't know, dude.
Those are the plans. In the
It's
works.
just red flag city every time we hear a report on Quentin Johnson or every time we see usage. So I don't know. I think he's a wasted pick, personally.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, yeah, a lot of bad signs, but if they get him into the role, then I don't expect Chark to stay healthy. He hasn't been healthy in a couple years. That's why he's been bouncing around. That's all you need, and then maybe Quentin Johnson steps up into an opportunity. But I'm not saying that's going to happen.
He's playing behind 3 more receivers who aren't starters, though. He's like 6th on their depth chart.
I just think it's preseason, personally. Like, we do this every single time.
Okay, so like if Quentin Johnson didn't play, I'd agree. But Quentin Johnson's the guy playing in like the 3rd and 4th quarters.
Look, I hear you. I hear you. We've seen people do that as well in other teams. But look, I'm not disagreeing with you that like it doesn't look good with him. I'm just saying I'm okay to take him as a late round flyer. That's basically that is my argument. That's always been my argument. But yes, a lot of red flags.
Yeah. All right, so we did go ahead and grab Ben Sinnott. I liked what I saw from him in his first game. And if you guys are going to let Jaden fall this far, we'll take Jaden Daniels at the 14th one. I don't like taking 2 quarterbacks, but if he's going to be available in the 14th round, and he does have the upside that I think he has, then I think there will legitimately be trade value, or I can trade Mahomes if I want to rock with Jaden Daniels there.
Hey.
Scooby, I'm just prepping for a league I'm in. I'll change plans. Evie says, correction, they have major plans for Quentin Johnston. Scribble says, Quentin had all the opportunity he could ever want last season with an elite quarterback. Now we're praying he gets a shot. Yeah. Obviously, like, we don't see eye to eye on this, and there's other players, that I'm on the opposite side, but I don't think there's a point in the draft where I select Quentin Johnson. If he's in the 15th round, I don't think I'd draft him.
That's okay. All right. There is a player that I do want to talk about. He's just really down on draft boards. Wanted to hear your thought process on this. Andre Yashivas. Yoshevich.
Yeah, I like it.
I think we're going to see a massive rise in ADP, especially what we saw. I think we saw him playing, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, with the ones.
He's a starter for this team. He's a starting slot receiver for this team.
He's a starting slot receiver ahead of Jermaine Burton.
He took over the slot role.
Obviously, Jermaine Burton going there at the 14-3. I think we can see a big uptick. Obviously, Jamar Chase wasn't on the field. You saw T. Higgins. But, I mean, we did this every single year. When T. Higgins or Jamar Chase went down, it was always go get Tyler Boyd off of waiver wires. Go pick him up. Or you always took a flyer on Tyler Boyd as a late flyer because you knew T. Higgins was going to miss a game or two.
Right.
So I think Andre Yoshevich is a nice little pickup here in one of these late rounds.
Yeah, they call him Yoshi. So if it's hard to say, like not just you, but everyone doesn't say his name right. It's Yoshivas. It's spelled weird, but think Yoshi and then Yoshivas.
Yoshivas.
And he's a player that, I remember when we were looking at the 2023 class, I think he's in, he dominated the combine. Like, all of his testing numbers were incredibly good. I remember we were kind of like tagging him as the Walmart Christian Watson from the previous season, where Christian Watson just like went absolutely ham with his numbers and like relative athletic score. So he's a really good athlete. If you don't know Andre Yashivas, he's out of Princeton. So smart kid, Ivy League school, and has definitely like slowly built a role for himself specifically without Tyler Boyd, they have him taking over the slot role. And I'll tell you, that's exciting to me. Like, a big slot is exciting to me. 6'3", 205, and you're putting that guy in the slot with the kind of speed that he has. So, yeah, I think Yeshivas definitely should be drafted. I don't know if you guys saw, I actually put Burton on my queue, and then I said, I started thinking about Yoshi. I was like, I think I'm actually going to pass here, so I'm with you.
Yeah, no, I think I like what he did there, so. And if he continues to build, right? And it's so interesting how we saw, I don't know if you noticed this, but there was a lot of ones running in the first preseason game. We normally don't see that. And I think that was the emphasis on, I think, a lot of the conversations a lot of these different teams had during the offseason, and how, we just get like the feel. And like, for example, I feel like who always did this was Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes always played like a little bit in every single preseason game. And now you're seeing that more throughout all of the NFL, where the ones are playing.
Every team has a different, I guess, process for their preseason. Every coach views it differently and weighs the risk, the reward of it all. So, yeah, it's definitely cool to see. It's cool to see more people getting, some work early in the offseason. Now, of course, you get situations like Hollywood Brown where it's like, okay, was it worth it? Was it really worth playing, 7 snaps for one of your starting receivers to go down with an injury? But that is something that every team has to decide for themselves. All right, we did reach our like goal, which was 75. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support on today's stream. So we are going to start another mock draft for you. And why don't we go ahead and make this a start 7? All right. There was some people commenting. They said, hey, I'm going to start 7. Do a start 7. So that's what we'll do today. We'll do a start 7 mock for this second one, and we'll set a like goal for a third mock. And if we reach it, we'll do whatever the chat wants, but we'll do a start 7. Start 7 changes everything for me. Changes how I draft entirely. My last pick. I'll take like a shot on Javon Baker there. Okay, so if you want to get into this mock draft, how can people go about getting in, Badaki?
Discord, guys. The Discord. Join our Discord. That link is in the description. That link is also in the chat there. And as I get this link, all you have to do is go to this Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, go under announcements, and that's exactly where I would be posting the link to this mock draft for you guys. I'm going to be... Make sure you join that mock draft, by the way.
Yeah. I'll just go right in the middle then.
Yeah, I'm going to do 9.
So, Badaki's going to send that link out. Important to note that, this video that we talk about, all the different formats.
That link is out, by the way, guys.
This mock draft will be very different. I will draft very differently to how we just drafted in a start 9. Right? In a start 9, I only had 1 running back in the first 5 rounds. So we'll see how that looks different here as we do a start 7. So anybody out there who's in a start 7 league, this is for you. All right. So 1 quarterback, PPR start 7, which is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a single flex. This is standard on ESPN, Yahoo. It's like, Badaki and I find it very boring, if I'm honest with you. It's like very straightforward. It feels like anyone can win. It doesn't feel like there's as much strategy that goes into it, but it is a way that a lot of people play. I would encourage you, if you're in leagues, encourage your league. Hey, should we add another flex? Should we spice things up in the bedroom here with another flex? Should we get crazy with 3 flexes?
Oh,
so anyway, this is how we would draft in a start 7. So let's get this thing going here in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
All right, so someone asked, can we do another one after this? We can. Let's set a new like goal, though.
Where we're at? What are we currently at right now?
So we're currently at 92 likes. Why don't we set it to 125? Do you feel like that's fair?
125. 125. No, I think that's okay. 125. Tyreek Hill goes off the board first at the 101. CMC and then CeeDee Lamb there for Jesus. How you doing, Jesus? It's been a minute, man. Love that you're in the mock draft now.
Welcome.
Come on, baby.
Jesus.
OG triple OG from Jesus. Kingdom Builder.
Triple OG.
Um, the
All
Jamar
right.
Chase here.
Yes, so Tyreek Hill, CMC, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, all off the board. There goes Breece Hall, and I'm going to take Bijan Robinson at the 106 in a start 7. Now D Tarnt is on the clock. Still a lot of very good options on the board. But hey, a lot of people have asked, hey, a start 7. It seems like a very popular format. So I think this will
A
be...
lot of people play ESPN, clearly.
Yeah, this will be helpful for a lot of those people, I think.
Wow. So Monroe falls to the 109. I understand
That's
getting
a huge value.
a running back there. But I'll take a Monroe here at the 109.
Yeah, you're cheering. Obviously, you'd want to start with a running back. But
Yeah, no question.
to get a Monroe there, that's a huge deal. And keep in mind, in this format, guys, you can start only 3 running backs or 3 wide receivers. So the idea of what I did last round where, you know, we only took 1 running back in the first 5 rounds doesn't make a lot of sense in that format.
No, it does not.
We're doing well, Jesus. It's good to have you here with us.
Yeah.
Ralph
love,
says,
brother.
how asinine is it to pass up on CD Tyreek for Breece Bijan in a start 7? Look, I think there's a tier where I don't pass on it. Like, for example, CD and Tyreek, I'm not going to pass on those guys in a start, even in a start 7. Those guys average over 23 points per game. I think at most that's what you're wanting for a Breece and Bijan this year. Like, that would be like they're the best running back in fantasy football, which is possible for sure. But for me personally, I just think you're passing up on like just a proven player that is going to get a shit ton of targets, especially if you're in a PPR format. Especially in a PPR, I think you're just passing up on too many good options.
Okay.
Yes, Macy, we are doing a draft order reveal for sure. Scribble says, should we be concerned about Komet? Everett played a lot, and he seems the 4th, maybe 5th target. I'll let Badaki make his pick here.
I have no idea where I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Puka here. I'll do the opposite and see what. According to Komet, there's a report that did come out saying that Joe Everett is ahead of Cole Komet. I find that crazy. I think what Komet has done so far has been pretty great in that offense. I know Matt Eberflus does like Cole Komet, but I guess if they believe in Joe Everett a little bit more, that's understandable. But I mean, he was playing, you know, I guess with the ones with Caleb Williams. We saw that big pass down the sideline. That was Caleb Williams to Cole Komet. So I don't know, kind of take it with a grain of salt potentially, but he is the 4th, 5th target with everyone on the team outside of Joe Everett. Like, if Joe Everett wasn't picked up by this team, he would have been the 4th target regardless. So the fact that Everett is kind of in motion right now, he could potentially be the 5th guy. But it just depends on what that looks like in season.
I've been heavily out on Cole Komet in Dynasty and redraft this year. And this is only pushing me further away from that. But like, I feel like the guy that you paid should be like your clear starter. And the fact that it was like split down the middle and they're targeting Gerald is, to me, is like all indications that you should not be drafting Cole Komet this year. You said it. At best, he was the 4th option. And now they got a tight end playing ahead of him in the receiving game. There's just so many red flags. I don't think Cole Komet's a serious option this year, personally. I do go Devon Achane here. Now, Devon Achane is someone that I've been avoiding in a 12-man start 9. Why? In a 12-man start 9, I really need to hit on this 2nd-round pick. I cannot afford to bust on a 2nd-round pick. In a 12-man start 7, I gotta worry about 2 less starters. In a 12-man start 7, I can absolutely shoot for the moon. Upside is the most important thing to me at every position because I know it's going to be so easy to fill my starting lineup. So that's where that differentiates for me personally between those 2 formats. Start 7, I only got to worry about 1 flex spot. Start 9, I got to worry about 3 flex spots. It's a completely different ball game. I need to take a little bit more safer picks in the 2nd round. So start 7, that strategy changes a little bit there. So after I took Achane, we see Henry before that, but Adams, Pacheco, Laporta, Evans, Jacobs, Olave, Tyreek, or Travis Kelce rather, sorry.
Travis Kelce, yeah.
At the 302. And Jesus takes Laporta at the 210. He takes the first tight end off the board.
All right, let's see where Jesus goes.
Scooby says, do you think JMO is going to take a leap? I do. I don't think like
not eighth round worth leap personally.
That's what concerns me. Like, you're not going to find anyone in the Dynasty community that loved Jameson Williams more than me, all right? But I think the expectations might be a little too high right now based off what I've seen.
Yeah, I agree.
So that is a little concerning to me. And again, another player that I'm not completely sold on in a start 9, Nico Collins. In a start 7, again, I'm totally willing to shoot for the moon at pretty much every pick, sure, knowing how easy it is to fill that starting lineup. So we'll go Bijan, Achane, Collins to start our draft there. I can't emphasize it enough. A start 7, you should draft completely different to a start 9, right? If you're in an 8-man start 7, every pick should be shooting for the moon. Every pick you should be like, can this player be the number 1 overall at their position? You know?
Yeah, I get that.
So in the 3rd round, we see Olave, Kelsey, Mixon, London, White, Collins, Ayuk, Debo, and now Badaki's on the clock here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I might go some of these onesie positions here.
Okay.
Once again, start 7. I think you can kind of, I guess technically reach a little bit versus a start 9 or start 10.
Sure.
We'll go Trey McBride right here.
Yeah, I like that. I think that makes sense for sure. So Trey McBride comes off the board at the 309. And now Mexi Madden's on the clock. But yeah, I do think Jameson Williams, he'll be a full-time starter, right? In a very good offense. So
no question. Yeah.
It's exciting to me that he's going to be a serious starter for this team. But do I think he's someone that I'm like starting consistently in my lineup? I'm not sold on that being the case. What would have to happen is Laporta would have to take a slight step back.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
All of the targets from Reynolds plus the targets Jameson had last year would need to go to Jameson for him to be like a consistent option.
Yeah. Someone would have to be hurt in a fantasy perspective for Jameson Williams to be somewhat the guy, right?
Yeah.
Or a guy.
Yeah.
It's really hard to envision on that offense at the moment.
The Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson stack at the 3-4 turn is hot.
Yeah, that is hot. That is super hot fire, kid.
Yeah. In a start 7, that's 6 right there.
That is 6.
All
right, I'm gonna be happy here. Whoever get at the 404, nice little turn there, Waddle.
Dan asked, would you rather have Laporta in the 3rd or Kelsey in the 4th? I think I know our answer, but
for me, it would still be okay. I'm gonna take Josh Allen here.
Okay.
For me, it would be Sam Laporta. I'm not sure about you, but it would be Sam Laporta for me.
Yeah, it would also be Sam. You would be Sam Laporta? Sorry?
Yes, it would be Sam Laporta.
Okay, my bad. I would be Kelsey then. I would be Kelsey around later.
That's fine.
But I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. I think it depends. Like, if you're talking, sorry, you're not on the clock. I think it depends. Like, is it a huge difference for getting Sam Laporta at the 210 versus the 3-2? Probably not. But if I'm saying at the 2, if I took Sam Laporta at the 2-1, you took Kelsey at the 3-2, that's a big difference. Then I will go. It just depends on how the board falls, right?
Yeah, I think I have Kelsey as my tight end 1 this year in redraft. So if I can get him around later, that was just the answer for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I did go Dalton Kincaid at the 407. I wanted a McBride or an Andrews. I thought about McBride at the 306. Again, in a start 7, think about where the advantage over your league mate is going to be, guys. A start 7, so easy for you to fill your starting lineup. What does that mean we should prioritize? Probably the quarterback and tight end position, right? Because it's such a small lineup. Those elite players at those positions probably make the difference between you winning or losing your league in those formats. The guy who averages 4 more points per game really matters in a start 7 at quarterback, at tight end, when you have to worry about less total starters across the board. So, yeah. Ralph, yes, pretty much exactly, what we just talked about there, Ralph. 100%. We want to lock in some elite positions at those onesie spots. By the way, if you don't know what onesie means, that's the quarterback and the tight end. Why do we call it onesie? Because you can start one of them, right? Yep. Gator says, case in point, I never take tight end this early, but getting Kelsey in the third, a onesie position works, and now I'm balanced. Yeah, I like the Kelsey pick for sure.
Yeah. Not bad.
Got you, Rockstar. No worries. Michael is a Lions fan. You love to see it. The Lions are America's team. Let's be honest.
Yeah, F the Cowboys. Those little... I hate the Cowboys. Come on, Jerry.
There's some
You
genuine...
gonna pay him or what? And I'm going to Dallas, and I can't wait to say I hate the Cowboys. Or F the Cowboys when I land in Dallas. Or technically Austin.
All right. I do want to lock up a quarterback here. And again, start 7, shooting for the moon. So we'll grab Anthony Richardson here at the 506. Onesie positions, ultimately so important in this format. It's going to be so easy for you to fill out the rest of your starting lineup. So just keep that in mind as you're drafting. I know you're going to say, oh, but I got this player I really like. I get it, but there will be pretty good players available down the board if you prioritize those onesie positions still. KL says Laporta over RB2 wide receiver 2 is questionable. We've kind of discussed this into the ground. I don't want to keep hammering on it, but for us in a start 7, absolutely, I'd take Laporta in the second round.
Man, I have no idea who to take here. I think I'm gonna take Amari Cooper.
Yeah, getting a top tight end is a priority for me in a start 7. It's
no
so
question,
easy to fill that starting lineup. Okay, you're going to miss out on a running back in round 2. You'll get a similar running back in round 3. You'll miss out on a wide receiver in round 2. You'll get a similar running back in round 3, or wide receiver in round 3.
What I did essentially, I don't have a wide running back right now. Maybe taking Josh Allen that onesie position. Maybe I should have took Alvin Kamara. That's what I was contemplating in between, knowing that I can potentially still get on the board C.J. Stroud, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray.
So we do mock drafts to try different things, and that's what Badaki is doing here. I'd say for me in a start 7, I have to have 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds.
Sure.
That's how I would rock it with that kind of lineup.
Now, my running backs may not feel strong or exciting, but I do feel really confident in my wide receiver 1, my wide receiver 2, my tight end 1, and my QB 1. But you can definitely find values specifically at the quarterback position a little later. Easily we can see Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott has been QB1 or top 3, even Jordan Love. Right, obviously the tight end is probably the one I definitely want to lock up here, but it's just all about upside.
Yeah, I would happily take a tight end at the end of the second if it's Laporta or Kelsey. I guess in general, guys, the smaller your starting lineup, the more you should prioritize the onesie positions. The more you should think through your lineup and every week how many players you need to start. It makes no sense for you to draft 5 wide receivers to start your draft and to start 7 if you can only start 3. You know what I mean? So you just have to critically think about your lineup in that way.
Yeah.
So James Conner comes off the board, David Montgomery comes off the board, Keenan Allen as well. And now I'm on the clock here, and we are going to go wide receiver. I think we'll take Jaden Reed here. Will we take Jaden Reed? No, we are going to grab Zay Flowers here. My bad. We're going to grab Zay Flowers as our wide receiver.
Take Zaza?
Yeah, we'll take Zaza. We just got a super chat from Matthew. Appreciate you, Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew. Hey, that's awesome.
I just wanted to remind you both the community appreciates and values you a significant amount. That's kind. He says, thank you for everything you do. Go get some hot chippies. Cheers to you and your fam. I love you. I appreciate you, Matthew. That's very
appreciate you, Matthew. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Very, very kind of you, man. It's always good to get some love from the community. It's very, very kind. Appreciate you big time. Appreciate you big time. We love doing it, so I'm glad y'all love doing it with us. That sounds weird. Wait, what?
You okay? The more the merrier.
That didn't sound the right way.
So really, the more the merrier. Come through.
That didn't come out the way it was supposed to. All right, well, it's said and done now. All right, the Jordan Love Jaden Reed stack at the 6-7 turn is almost like the discounted version of the Lamar Andrew stack in a way. Obviously different, but nice to see that stack come off the board there.
Oh, Raheem the Dream.
Raheem Mostert off the board.
Raheem Mostert. What's this like go at 125? You said. If we want to do another mock draft, a third mock draft for the day, we're currently at 109. Make sure you drop a like if you want that third mock draft.
16 likes away from that goal.
Not terrible. Come through. Do we want to do it? I want lunch. But we'll do it for you.
Zamir White off the board at the 704. I was definitely lining him up. No cap. No Kizé. We'll grab Javonte Williams here as our RB3.
He said no cap, cuz.
RB3 off the board there. So who's playing in a start 7? I want you guys to tell me in the comments below. What is your format? Are you start 7? Are you start 8? Are you start 9? Tell me how many members are in your league as well. I kind of just want to do like a general consensus here of the chat and see what our followers are kind of rocking with for the most part. Obviously it won't be perfect because not everybody will comment or not everybody will, be here right now, but it's good to see in general what our community is rocking with this year. And also it'd be nice to know what platform you're on. It'd also be nice to know what platform you're drafting on. Taylor says start 8, 12 man. That seems like a very common one as well. Start 8, 2 flex spots.
Yeah, I feel like we got a lot of comments in that ESPN video of like, can you do a Yahoo one? Can you do a sleeper one? Can you do something else? Yeah.
I might do a Yahoo version of that video. It seems like it's something people really want. So I'll kind of weigh up that and see if that's something we do. Trey Cobb says he's in a super flex start 11, 3 wide receivers, 3 flex, 2 running backs. Okay, that's awesome. See that probably the best strategy is 0 RB in that format, He's on Yahoo. Harrison says start 7 full PPR, a 14-man on ESPN. Ralph is in a 12-man start 7. Thanks for mixing this in. No stress.
Okay.
Scooby's in an 8-man start 8. Scooby, I can't emphasize this enough. In that format, Badaki, 8-man start 8, I think I'm taking my quarterback and tight end in rounds 2 and 3. Is that crazy to say? I think I want the number 1 tight end and number 1 quarterback in a start 8. In a start 8-man.
I think the only way I'm doing something like that is if the scoring is crazy. Like it just has to be. It has to be extreme. Can't just be like a basic all right, we're just a normal PPR 8-man league. Like it has to.
I'm asking how you would draft.
Oh yeah. I think I would still be taking.
Because it sounds like you disagreed with what I said.
No, I am. I'm disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm just talking about I just want the scoring format to look a little bit different.
Sure, you're saying if you're in an 8-man league, then you should change up the scoring to make it more interesting.
Exactly. Let's not keep it. Don't keep it vanilla as just a straight PPR, half PPR league. But yeah, I definitely agree with you with getting.
Okay, because the way you phrased it sounded like you're on a different page, but I understand.
No.
I just want to show people why I'm saying that. I'll go ahead and auto pick this entire draft, and I want you guys to see how ridiculous this board is going to look. But I went Deontay Johnson as my wide receiver 3 at the 807. And honestly, I'm personally in love with this team. Our starting lineup is Anthony Richardson, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Dalton Kincaid, and either Javonte or Deontay Johnson. So we're still getting players that I am obsessed with starting in a start 9. And we've already got the, top quarterback and tight ends on the roster.
Take me off the roster.
Take me off the roster. Okay, so we are 6 rounds deep, guys. And DK Metcalf just went off the board. We are 7 rounds deep, and Trey McBride just went off the board. Alvin Kamara is a 7th round pick in this format. Saquon Barkley is a 3rd round pick in this format, guys. You see where I'm coming from here? You see how easy it is to build out a squad?
Yeah. It's like not thinking. Like you could just let the computer auto draft for you.
You could genuinely auto pick in that draft, 100%.
And you're chilling. Like, all right,
I'll
take
your
first
later. 3 picks and then auto pick.
Yeah. It's like, all right, cool.
All right, Chase Brown comes off the board here. There goes Brian Thomas. I like that pick. You know what? We'll grab some JSN here. We'll grab JSN as another option. I like this draft, man. I love this draft. Okay, so we are just finishing this draft. Just so you guys know, in this format, Rashee Rice is a 9th round pick. In all the 12-man start 9 mocks we've done, he's a 5th round pick at worst, right? Jaden Reed, pretty much the same exact thing. Late 9th round pick. In most of our drafts that we do in a 12-man, he's a 5th round pick in a start 9. Another example we got to see, for example, DeAndre Swift in the 9th round, Zamir White in the 10th round, right? So if I was to look at who had the best draft, and it's all auto picks at this point, but the teams that look the scariest to me are the guys who have Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce, and still an incredible squad behind them. The guy who has Lamar Jackson, Sam Laporta, and still an incredible squad behind them. The guy who has Pat Mahomes, Dalton Kincaid, and still is able to start CMC, Barkley, London, Diggs, Smith, right? So when we say format is everything, we're trying to mix it up as much as we can to include all of your different formats, but hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you took Watson at the 909?
Yeah, I love Christian Watson this year. Still believing in him. Even though the Bobby Yaga. Get Dontavion Wicks all the way up to the 8th round. See what happens.
He's never going to get there.
Yeah, I know. Where'd he go last round? He went 11.
Jaden Daniels at the 1003.
All right, I'm just going to lock up this backfield here.
No, I think that's very smart. If you draft Jonathan Brooks, you got to get Chuba Hubbard. Otherwise, I really don't like the idea. But Brooks is the one to own late in the season, and Chuba is the one that's going to help you at the beginning of the season. So I really, really like that idea a lot.
Are you ready for some football? Holy shit, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. And we're taking advantage of it. I'm taking advantage of it. I literally just have an epiphany in my mind just then.
How? What do you mean?
We were in the middle of the offseason. We were full on I can't wait till football. You don't realize that it's around the corner.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, it's okay. It's only a couple weeks away. No, live in it, breathe it, watch every preseason game.
We're here.
Come on.
Scooby, I still think Kyler and McBride are great options for you, man. Don't worry. If you got McBride late, that tells me your league doesn't know what they're doing. What is the update on this like goal? Are we getting a third mock draft here? We're currently at 116. Yeah, so we are 9 likes away from another mock draft. Look, Badaki and I got things to do, so we got to plan out this week. There will be no stream on Thursday night this week. Why? Because we're flying to America. We're flying to Austin, Texas to meet up with all of the Flock creators to collaborate on content together, to do a draft together. And if you guys don't know, go subscribe to that channel, by the way, the Flock League channel. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We will be showing you a mock draft, or not a mock draft, a real fantasy league, a real fantasy draft.
Yeah.
With all the content creators over on the Flock Fantasy site. That's what we're doing next week, collaborating with those guys, mocking and doing real drafts with them. So that's why there will be no stream on Thursday night. We will be flying.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we do have a meetup. We'll be in Austin, Texas. There's a venue that we have. So if you guys want to meet not only Zach and myself, but all the other content creators, Mason from Flock Fantasy, the Domain Boys, FSC, we're all going to be there. You can get half price beers. I need to find that link actually. That actually might be on that Flock League's description when you go there. So definitely go check that out. We can't wait to see you guys. If I'm not mistaken, that is going to be Thursday.
Check the announcements tab. There should be a link there in the announcements tab.
Yeah, I'll get that up for you guys, and then you guys should be able to see that.
Yeah. Taylor says I'm in Austin. Yeah, man, come to the meetup then.
Come through, man. Let me make a pick here. I think I'm on the clock. R9.
The new kickoff rules are a little strange for sure. I'm not sure if I am into them or not.
What do you mean? I'll take that.
They're just new. It's different. I don't know if I like it yet. I'm not sure how I feel about it overall. Not indifferent, not against it, just not obsessed with it yet. Yeah, so you took Wix at the 1109.
Yeah, just lock up the upside, see what happens. People believe in it.
Love it. Jalen Polk at the 1110 off the board, then Brandon Cooks. Matthew says I'm picking my NFL MVP as my last pick. I love it. Okay, people are saying we hit the light goal. Did we hit the light goal? I think we did.
Oh boy.
Mine says 124. So mine says that we haven't.
People aren't liking it.
Mine says 124. Gotta be 125.
Gotta be 125. John Dodson.
Mine says 123 now. We're getting people unliking.
People don't want another mock.
All right, Dotson off the board. What do you think?
I'll take another tight end for the loss.
All right, Pat Frymuth off the board as well. Ben Sinnott.
People are actually unliking it. 122. I keep refreshing. Why are people unliking it?
I don't know, but honestly, we got so much work to do. I'm not going to be upset if we don't reach the goal. It's been a great stream already.
By the way, I put that Flock meetup link in the chat. I'll put it there again. We don't want to sell tickets, but the venue has to, we don't want to do it at all, to be honest. Selling tickets, but we have to have a capacity. So once again, if you do buy a ticket or if you do book a hotel, send us that screenshot and then we can definitely waive that ticket potentially.
Yeah, if you have a hotel booked and you're actually gonna come and travel and meet here, then send us a message on Discord. We'll make sure that your ticket is free.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you still get half price beers, which is awesome at the brewery.
Yeah. All right. Apparently, we are above 125 now, comfortably.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
We are at 128.
We're at 128, so people are liking it there. 129 now.
So, what should we do for this last one? Should we switch it up and go Superflex?
Sure, let's do Superflex. I gotta practice Superflex anyway. Guys, if you want to join this mock draft, all you have to do is join the Discord. We'll do 30-second. I mean, we've been doing it all along anyway. Join the Discord. That link is going to be in the chat, and that link is also in the description. If you have joined a mock draft already the first 2 times, let somebody else get in. Join that Discord. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Then go to content releases. Sorry, go to announcements. We don't do content releases anymore. Go to announcements, and that's exactly how you can join each and every mock draft. Once Zach sends that link out to me, I'll send that out to you guys. Been a minute since we had content releases. And we have a home league that is Superflex. Where are we drafting from in that home league?
You're at the 2.
Am I? Okay, I'll take it too.
All right,
All right,
send
I'll
that
send
out.
this link out. I'll send this link out here under announcements. We're doing it for the community, even though we got so much shit to do.
Yeah, we actually shouldn't be doing this mock draft with the amount of work we have to do. Like legitimately. But I'm glad people are helping the
We'll
channel
do
grow.
quick fire, and we'll go up to like we'll just fill up. What we should do is just fill up the roster. So once you
No,
have
that'll change
one,
the way people draft. Let's just go 13 rounds. I think that's fine.
okay.
If we do it the other way, that'll change the way people draft, man. You know. Jalen Allen goes off the board. You go Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Allen.
Jalen
Settings
Allen,
are
man.
the ADP is wrong, by the way, but that's okay.
All right, should be updated now. So Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, all off the board here in this Superflex league. We also see C.J. Stroud.
Wow,
Absolutely,
I can't believe we're gonna
Matthew.
lock up Jalen Hurts at the 102 there.
Huh?
You want the 102? No, nothing. Just thinking about our home league. I'm drafting next to Kieran. Oh boy, and Joel. Oh boy.
All right, Joe Burrow comes off the board. I will go ahead and take the first positional player, and this will be one of Tyreek, CMC, or CeeDee Lamb. But I'll wait until I get some more clarity on that. That's a placeholder for now. When everyone's bobbing, we're gonna try and weave and see what sort of team we can build out here.
Got to bob and weave it. Bob and weave it here. Guys, if you don't know, we did start another channel, YouTube Shorts. If you like short content, short form content, I will be making some content over there of all of the most relevant things clearly that's happening in the NFL, whether it's preseason, any contract talks, or any fantasy football related. So definitely goes. Fantasy Never Stops is called. It's going to be redraft and dynasty. So definitely make sure you guys are subscribed to that. The first short should be coming out in the next 24 to 48 hours. So definitely go check that out. I'm excited to be posting content, and subscribe to that channel as well, because while we are away in Texas creating content, you might be seeing some live stuff happening on the low there. So definitely go check out that content or that channel and look out for that content. Make sure you turn on that notification as well, so you can get all those videos when they are released, which is exciting.
Yeah, I like to tell people that we didn't want to make a shorts channel where we just repurpose our content. If we did that, we wanted it to be original content, and that's what we're doing over there. So go subscribe if you like to enjoy content in that way. If you are, a big person on TikTok or Shorts or Reels, and that's something that interests you, make sure you go subscribe over there.
All right. So Anthony Richardson, CeeDee Lamb, CMC, Kyler Murray, Jamar Chase, B. John Robinson with Jordan Love, Breece Hall, Dak Prescott, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have Tyreek Hill here at the 107. He goes Justin Jefferson quickly there for Zach. Not overthinking it, taking his guy.
We'll take JJ here. I don't want to force a quarterback because I need a quarterback. I think if you do that, you're going to miss out on some of these really good running backs and wide receivers that are available. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, late second round is wacky, right? AJ Brown, late second round, insane to me. So I get we want to lock up the quarterbacks. I do too. But
lock him up. Take him away from me.
It's tough.
Okay. I'm okay who has come back to me. So I'm going to take Saquon there.
All right, so you go Saquon and Jalen Hurts. You know, a lot of
That's right.
people don't like stacking up on those two teams. Is there any concern for you? I don't personally think I'd overthink it myself. You know,
No.
obviously I think you'd rather have had like Jalen Hurts and Saquon or AJ Brown as a stack, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'd overthink it if it's truly my best available player, my highest ranked
Yeah,
player.
exactly. And that's kind of where I was gonna go. I was happy. It's really Marvin Harrison Jr., but I was happy with whoever came to me at that turn there. And I'm gonna take Drake London here at this turn. Didn't like the running backs that were there. I mean, yeah, I could have taken Travis Etienne or Jonathan Taylor, but I feel really comfortable taking Saquon Barkley, especially in that high-powered offense.
Sure.
I think Jalen Hurts value. Some people think it's going to get hurt. If that's going to get hurt, it's probably because of Saquon Barkley's getting all those goal line opportunities. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Oops says you let him get Tyreek and JJ on the same team. I like it, but look, it's super flex, so who knows? I could really regret that. I could really regret it. It's for me. It's just like if you're at the back half of the board in a super flex league, I feel like you have to do an alternate strategy. You might not end up with the top quarterbacks, but do you want to draft the quarterback 12, or do you want to take a wide receiver 1 or a running back 1, like someone who could be the number 1 at their position? So that's how I view it. But it's tough when everyone's taking quarterbacks, and you're like, damn, I really want to get a quarterback on this team.
Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel. So we're back up on the clock here. I think we will go ahead and take a quarterback here.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and we're going to grab Jaden Daniels in the 3rd round. That's my guy this year. Superflex league. Didn't want to take him in the 3rd before these really good running backs and wide receivers come off the board, but we'll take him in the 2nd, but we'll take him in the 3rd here.
Okay.
And we'll see how we feel.
Not bad, good size.
Yes, I am. You're talking about my team. Oops, that's me, brother.
Oops, that's me.
Kevin says feels weird drafting redraft superflex. Yeah, it's fun though. I really enjoy the superflex format.
Yeah, and this is one of our favorite leagues, our home league specifically. We have superflex. I think we introduced that 2-3 years ago. So we have a superflex home league and we have a 1 quarterback home league, essentially with mostly the same people, and it just brings a whole different dynamic to the draft board.
It does. It's the amount of strategies out there is there's way more strategy, way more opportunities to try different things at different parts of the board. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, we love it.
Oops says I think you might have been able to wait for Daniels till round 4. Oops, with our community, I promise you I wouldn't have been able to. I know our community; they know every player that we like. So maybe in a regular draft, but with drafting with our community, they know my every thought. Nah, he wasn't falling to my next pick.
He wasn't falling, brother.
Debo nice off the board here. There. There goes Big Cock Brock.
He has that CMC Purdy stack Joey does. Now Green, nice. Which is pretty sure Brandon is on the clock here. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. He has that Dak Prescott stack with CeeDee Lamb with Nico Collins there. And he goes Jalen Waddle. That's a nice one. That was on my queue.
Incredible start.
He was on my queue right there.
411.
Yeah, no, I mean, Waddle's kind of lost in ADP. I feel like the last week or two, I was drafting him and everyone just kept surpassing him because I think he was deep down. What are you thinking here?
Running back or wide receiver? Ayuk is very tempting. I think that's what we're going to go. We're going to grab Ayuk there as our wide receiver 3.
Okay.
And remember, start 10. So, again, format is everything. I know we keep talking about, we keep pounding it, but how I just drafted in a 12-man start 7-1 quarterback, completely different, right? But, yeah. Ayuk, he's not a popular pick right now to make, is he? I mean, look, if he goes to the Steelers, would I draft him this high? I don't know, dude. I do think if someone trades for Ayuk and they pay him $30 million a year, I think he's going to be force-fed targets.
I mean, he will be force-fed targets, but inconsistencies on a week-to-week basis to where is it going to be enough for him to be drafting him at his ADP? Hard for me to envision that. I'm going to take another wide receiver here. I'm going to take Malik Neighbors.
To me, I think Ayuk fell here. I mean, what does that make him off the board? Wide receiver 16. I don't know. I guess that's close to ADP. Neighbors at wide receiver 18 there. Pittman at 19. Taylor says if he goes to the Steelers, pray for him. Yes, we will have to pray for him. As Dalton Kincaid comes off the board at 501.
Yeah, I was contemplating Dalton there. I wanted him to make the decision for me. I figured he would take Dalton because he has Josh Allen. I think I'm going to take a quarterback here.
Okay.
I don't think a quarterback's going to come back to me that I like. I'm going to take Tua right now over my guy. I'll take him over my guy. Let's see how it goes.
Tua tags off the board.
Because normally once one quarterback goes, they're going to see the run, potentially. But maybe I'm wrong.
That's definitely what you want, though.
Yeah, maybe. That's what you want.
As there you go, Jared Goff comes off the board. DJ Moore comes off the board. Yeah, we did see Justin Herbert as like a second, third round pick in Superflex leagues a couple weeks ago, but now with the injury, I think people are a little more concerned about him.
And that's why I would normally go Justin Herbert there. But let's just say the season started tomorrow. You're probably not drafting Justin Herbert with confidence with this injury. So, even though the value is probably good, I'll take a chance on Herbert, on Tua.
Oh my gosh, the wide receivers are so hot.
They are.
I'm gonna take DK here. My wide receiver 4. Jeez, man.
Super hot fire.
I can't pass on it. So we see DK Metcalf off the board. I'm going to set up these 100-yard dashes, by the way.
Yeah, it's still in between our picks. How do you feel about that? Just get them out the way, and then once the draft is...
I want to give people their time.
Okay, that's fair.
It feels wrong to just throw it in there. Ken Walker comes off the board at the 508.
I think my internet might have went to shit. Let's see. Maybe not. Okay, I'm back.
I can still hear you. All right, so Ken Walker off the board, Devonta Smith off the board. Myself and Brandon taking a very similar approach to this draft. 1 quarterback, 4 wide receivers. For me, it's just thinking through the starting lineup. I can start up to 5 receivers in this league in a PPR format. That's where my priority is going to be. As Rachaad White comes off the board, he fell quite far compared to a normal draft. There goes Kyle Pitts as well. I like the Pitts pick. I'll say this. For me, it's more difficult to fit in a tight end early in a super flex league. Yeah. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like...
I felt the same way. I mean, I was contemplating with Dalton there. It's tough.
Yeah, the pick feels so critical, like in that early part of your draft for super flex. I guess it depends on how big your lineup is in super flex. If it's a smaller one, it's easier, but in a start 10, it's just... it makes it difficult sometimes, for sure. So Brandon took his first running back as James Cook there at the 604. Amari Cooper comes off the board, and that is perfect. We were hoping for Alvin Kamara. So we'll grab Alvin there as our RB1 at the 606. Me and Brandon in lockstep here with how we're building these teams.
There's Joe Money Bags. I had him on my queue. That's okay.
Yeah, Joe was my other option in case Kamara wasn't there, so I like him in that same range. I feel like that is the range of running backs there. Aaron Jones comes off the board.
Okay.
You know, people talk about this fantasy football expo. What is the fantasy football expo? Like, this might sound stupid coming from someone who literally like devotes their life to fantasy football. What is that? What is the fantasy football expo? I hear everyone talking about it.
The fantasy football expo weekend is filled with everything you expect, with a bunch of fantasy football enthusiasts and fans get together for a weekend. August 9th to the 11th, so that it just happened, or is potentially happening.
Oh, okay.
So the greatest weekend in fantasy football. Buy tickets at the door. What are people doing their drafts now for the fantasy football expo? The fantasy football expo weekend filled with everything to expect. A bunch of fantasy football enthusiasts and fans get together for a weekend party, fantasy draft, Pro Football Hall of Fame, more parties, and ton of fancy information, sharing and networking all your friends in the community. All right, perfect. I'll take Jaden Reed here. Get my wide receivers. So meet the pros. At the Fantasy Football Expert, attendees can join speaking events with Fantasy Football Pros schedule across Saturday and Sunday, providing experts insight and tips in engaging, interacting environments. Wow, so they have flag football, draft night, cornhole.
Get your corn caught in a hole. Yeah, no, running backs are still important, but I'm worried about having the best starting lineup. And I think in a PPR format, knowing that I can start 5 receivers total, they would be a priority for me. And I would just find options at the running back position later down the board. For example, Kamara. I mean, like, if you're telling me I can get Alvin Kamara in round 6 every draft, I would lock that in. It'd be a no-brainer for me.
It's a no-brainer.
But here, I think we have seen maybe a swap. No, I think running backs are still pretty strong here, actually. We're going to grab Ramondre as our RB2. So we wait until the 6th and 7th round to grab a running back, and we end up with Alvin Kamara and Ramondre. Even though we've got a stacked wide receiver room, I like it.
Yeah. Not bad, good size.
Yeah, exactly. Too many flex spots to focus on RB heavy league. I mean, look, if we were doing this league and we had one flex spot, I think that changes the strategy entirely, you know. But I want to win that flex in this league. Najee Harris comes off the board. Najee, what are healthy expectations for Najee Harris this year, Chad? I want you guys to tell me what you're expecting from Najee Harris. You know, is he going to be a top 24 finish? Do you think he's past his best? Probably. I mean, that one year where he finished top 5.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any excuses for Najee and Warren, honestly, with... Sounds crazy, but with Arthur Smith is going to love to run the ball, but arguably they have a phenomenal offensive line. Like, if all those guys hit, Broderick Jones, you know, Troy Fatanu, they also got the dude from Philly, I forgot his name. They drafted Zach Frazier from Michigan. Was it Michigan?
Yeah, I think so.
So, it was Michigan, West Virginia, maybe.
Oh yeah, West Virginia. He's from actually.
So I think the offensive line. So there's no excuses. I think they have one of the at least top 10 offensive lines coming into this year potentially.
Was it Troy Fatanu? I thought it was. Was it Troy Fatanu they drafted? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah, Troy Fatanu.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty
I
sure.
can't remember where those tackles went this year because it was so offensive heavy. But yeah, I remember they got a tackle. I just don't remember which one it was. Yeah, Troy Fatanu, Zach Frazier. It's a good offensive line. I mean, they've obviously been building it as well with Broderick Jones the year before. So they are clearly going to be a run-focused team.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a run-focused team, which it should easily, personally, especially with no weapons around outside of George Pickens, respectfully, like they should both easily be top 24 running backs, like we saw something similar last year. And it may not be home run, like, home run hitters, but like these are guys that you're going to be relying on week in and week out. And we saw them, they finished back to back this year, didn't they? 22, 23 or 21,
Yeah.
21, 22.
I don't know where they finished. I think I would say top 30. I feel like I could comfortably say they'll both be top 30. I don't know if they both hit top 24 if every running back stays healthy.
Yeah, so last year they finished, Jaden Warren finished running back 22, Najee running back 23.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a lot of rookies here. I'm going to take Brian Thomas.
All right, Brian Thomas Jr. off the board there. Jalen Warren, we were talking about him, and then he goes off the board.
That was Aaron Rodgers. Gonna be excited to see Aaron Rodgers back on the field this year.
Yeah.
For more than 4 snaps, I think everyone's gonna hold their breath for the first 4 snaps. Once you get to 5, you're chilling. You're chilling.
Yeah, I agree. Once you get one game in for Aaron Rodgers, you'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
I can breathe.
For real. It's like, thank you.
Evan Ingram goes off the board there in the 9th round. I really like that pick from Tebow. Man, that's just a solid pick. Just a reliable option at the tight end position. Hollywood Brown goes, and that is perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better strategy here. I don't know. We'll see how our league pans out. I don't know how our league is going to draft.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to go see what they did last year.
That's a good question, actually. What did I do last year?
Previous league, 23.
As Geno Smith goes off the board at the 909 from Brandon there.
It was pretty spread.
Jameson, then Brock Bowers gone.
Gosh, it took Trevor Lawrence to Deshaun Watson. Could have had Tyreek Hill. What a joke. Tyreek Hill fell to the 2-2 last year.
So this was our draft in our home league last year. You can see your boy took Herbert, Purdy in the 6th round, and Howell in the 10th. I feel like I hit pretty well on those late round quarterbacks. Where I didn't hit was Garrett Wilson and Calvin Ridley. Those killed me. Those 2 picks destroyed me. Kelsey was a good pick. Etienne was a huge hit. Monty was a huge hit. Warren was a huge hit. Achane was a huge hit. Tank Dell was a huge hit. So we hit across the board, as well as Jake Ferguson, our late round tight end. But what we didn't hit was our first 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, and for me, it was just all injury. Trevor Lawrence injured, Deshaun Watson injured, Mark Andrews injured, J.K. Dobbins done. That's 4 out of 5 injuries of my starting positional players there. Devonta Smith didn't hit the way he went, so injuries really effed me over hard last year.
Yeah,
especially drafting at the 112.
Big time. Jake Ferguson off the board at the 1004.
Yeah, what's funny is that the guy that won was auto-picked.
Cortland Sutton goes. We'll grab Will Levis here as our 10th round pick. Taking a shot on some upside at the quarterback position late in this draft. Really just trying to replicate what we did in that home league last year where we got Brock Purdy in the 6th, Hal in the 10th. Hal was a really good starter first half of the year. I sold him, I think, after week 5. But we hit on Monty, who was a my guy last year. We hit on Etienne. Really, the wide receivers screwed us. Wilson, Ridley, Lockett, Dotson. At least we drafted Tank Dell late, but that's what killed this team last year, unfortunately.
Yeah. Good times. Home league happening again here very soon. Can't wait to be with the Oys.
Yeah, I agree. Why did JJ fall to round 2? I think it's just because it's a super flex league. A lot of people are preferring to build around quarterbacks. I mean, if you think about this from a one quarterback perspective, like let's think about that for a second. If this is one quarterback, then Justin Jefferson is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 108. And that's not that uncommon this year, right? He went at the 107 in this one quarterback earlier. So not that uncommon. It's just that the quarterbacks are, important in the Superflex league. So they get pushed up a little bit up the board. All right. I think, can you start to tell me some of these names? Let's just put some names in for the leagues. Let's start with Bravo.
Sure.
Tell me Bravo names here.
I'll give you give me a second. Let me just pull this up. All right, Bravo. We have Raw Dog Ethan, Tebow Fan, D Torrent, Travesty, Ravenger, Jesus Lopez. I'm on the clock here, and I'm going to take a tight end. We have Cole Nicholson. We have Sean from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Professor. And we have Back in 82. And then ourselves.
Okay, that's great. Give me the Charlie League.
The Charlie League ATJ. We have EZEWG 666. We got J Stump. We have El Tigre Blanco. We have Bows, like elbows, BOWZ1. Bows, sorry. SD Perks. Bows.
He likes that. Bows.
Stay Puffed. D Macy.
Hold on, I'm on the clock.
No worries.
And we're on the clock here. I think we will grab Zeke. We'll grab Zeke at the 1107 for some security. Okay, so you said Daniel Macy.
Daniel Macy, and then we have C-Bomb.
Yep.
And then we have Mighty Booch.
Okay, great.
And then obviously ourselves.
We'll get to those in a second here. As Bryce Young comes off the board.
It's just Chuba went. So I was trying to get Jonathan Brooks. I thought I'll stretch it, but someone took him. That's okay. Got a couple other options. Yeah, Jesus, can't wait. Same thing, Cole. I mean, I'm excited for it. We finally get to know where we're going to be drafting.
I swear to God, if I'm at the 12 spot again. If you guys don't know, I've gotten the 12 spot at pretty much like every draft order reveal, even in like a home league. So I really hate the 12 spot. In fact, if I get it, I'll probably just turn the stream off. And leave.
Welcome to my life.
Oh.
Literally, when we start our dynasty leagues, guys, and we got draft order, I think almost half of our dynasty leagues, I had the 112 or the 111. So I was either building the same fucking team every single time, or I was just punting because there was nothing else I could do. I did one win now team, and that team's absolute shit. Like I hate not having variety. And I didn't have that.
JJ McCarthy there, another option if obviously if Sam Darnold doesn't start the entire year. I'll have that. That'll be good news for me. I'm taking an upside. Like in the 12th round, if JJ plays at any point this year, that tells me he's a good quarterback because he's keeping Sam Darnold off the field, and I get the connection with Justin Jefferson. So, yeah, excited about that. Rage quit would be fire. Oh my gosh. That's true, Taylor. I do like the back-to-back, but I feel like the back-to-back picks you're almost always reaching. Like for me, it's very rare that like I'm on a spot on the edge and I'm like, great, I'm getting both of these players that are the last in a tier or something. It feels like I'm always reaching ahead of the rest of the league, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, Brandon Cooks is definitely one guy I wanted.
Kevin says he wanted JJ. I'm sorry. Rockstar says, where do we sign up to be in one of the leagues? So we don't have any other leagues this year, guys. So all the leagues are completely filled, and we only selected people who were Mother Flocker members with the promo code LAND on the Flock Fantasy site. So I can let you guys know that if you want to be in contention for those kind of leagues in the future, all you have to do is be a yearly or monthly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND on the Flock Fantasy site. If you don't know what the Flock Fantasy site is, the Flock Fantasy site is a collaboration of a bunch of your favorite creators on YouTube, right? So this is a collaboration between us, Mason from Flock Fantasy, the domain guys, the Fantasy Stock Exchange guys. We all collaborate on this site together. We put out articles, databases, so much research is on this site. Projection tool the domain boys have. We put out our cheat sheet on there, which updates weekly, which has my positional rankings, my guys, sleepers, fades, boom, busts. We've also got access to our rankings here if you want to see, which will update every week in season. Dynasty Superflex, Dynasty 1 quarterback, redraft, best ball. You've got the trade calculator that you get access to, which specifically is detailed towards exactly what league you're rocking. It's so specific, and that stuff really matters. You've got the My Teams feature. If you're a yearly member, you get a free team review. You might have seen us doing some team reviews over on the Dynasty channel. We will do those as well on the redraft channel. So, again, if you want to become a yearly member, you get a free team review. But just telling you guys all of the options. And then in the future, if we do more leagues or anything, we will only pull from that pool of people who are supporting us.
Yeah, which is awesome.
I'll take Goddard there at the 1307. Jesus says, don't think about it, just sign up. But yeah, I put a link in the chat there. Again, got to be a yearly Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND to get a team review.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
By the way, there is such a good update to this site coming out in like the next 3 weeks. The site is going to look even better. It's incredible how good the site is about to look and how friendly it will be towards the user. So anyway, appreciate everybody who's already supporting, everybody who's already seen the vision, and is cheering us on along the way.
Yeah, it's been awesome, guys. We appreciate you guys.
So Gabe Davis off the board. I actually really like that pick. I'm definitely coming around on Gabe Davis. Knowing Kirk isn't going to play in 2 wide receiver sets again this year, and now the only way that changes this, like last year when we saw Zay Jones go down with an injury, if Gabe Davis or Brian Thomas goes down with an injury. I feel like Gabe is going to get a lot more work than we're anticipating right now.
Wandale Robinson there. I can never get him. Always stretch it too far. I think I gotta go get my guy now.
Yeah, that is difficult at times to lock down the guy you want.
Michael Wilson's a good pick there. I had him on my queue.
Oh, I like that pick a lot. And then what is Bendy Locks doing here? He's leaving me in limbo right now.
He's leaving everyone in limbo.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take Sam Darnold as well. So locked up the Minnesota Vikings quarterback room. So if Sam Darnold starts the entire season, we're okay with that. If JJ McCarthy takes over, fantastic. That tells me he's doing very well. We've also got Baker, Levis, and Daniels as starting options. And the great news in a super flex league, quarterbacks are very, very easy to sell. So if you don't want to rock with this many quarterbacks, most people wouldn't, then you're going to have a lot of trade equity in your league through the first 4 weeks.
What's happening, Chef? How you doing, brother? What was the LT grad? You saw John Ross? I think he had a nice catch in the sideline, if I'm not mistaken. Talk it up. You're a John Ross guy? Justin Ross, excuse me.
Justin, yeah.
I said John Ross.
Rest in peace, John Ross.
I remember LT said, he said, I don't know, actually, damn, Darnell Mooney off the board too. Okay, well, I'll take Mike. And then I'm gonna take another guy here.
Mike Willie.
We have so much stuff to do.
We have so much stuff to do. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
We should not be streaming.
We're actually prep, and every time we say this, guys, it's because this week looks completely different for us because we're going to be flying out to Austin once again to meet you guys, to create all this content. So we're actually like breaking down everything that we're trying to create, and we're a whole day short technically. Like, and we had to release the same amount of content for a week with one less day, which is...
It's extremely stressful to think about, to be honest.
Yeah.
I should not be streaming at all right now. In fact, this is pretty much over. Let's move on to these draft order reveals before it gets just way too late. So I'm going to tag the Bravo League first at all. I'm going to say doing the draft order reveal now. And I'll send a link to the stream if someone doesn't have it up yet. So we'll start with Bravo. Remember, Bravo has Raw Dog as my pick has come up. So let me quickly make that pick here. We're going to grab Andre Yeshivas. There. All right, that's going to be the last pick I focus on for that draft. Okay, 100-yard dash here to determine the draft order. This is not a situation where wherever you pick, you decide what pick you're going to choose. No, this is just where you land. That's where you're drafting from, okay? Now, the Bravo League voted, and the Bravo League decided that they wanted to rock with a Superflex tied in premium league. All right, so we did a coin toss because it was tied. So it's a Superflex tied in premium league that we're drawing spots for. And it is a start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a start 10 league. All right, so 100-yard dash is a randomizer. Basically, everybody gets attached to a player, and how fast they go determines, basically how fast you finish. Think of 40-yard dash, right? We've got everyone's names in here, so we'll hit continue. And how many times should we shuffle it? Give me a number 1 to 10, somebody in the chat. How many times should we shuffle it? Okay, Gator says 7 times. So 1, 2, 3.
Gator was quick
4,
with it. He knew it was
5,
coming.
6,
I love
7.
it.
So we have shuffled this 7 times. You can see me at the top of the screen there. Badaki's in the middle.
I'm in the middle. Oh, that's never good.
So let's go ahead. All the odds are the same for everybody. And we are going to start this bad boy in 3, 2, 1. Good luck, gentlemen. You've won a brand new car. Okay, so out the gate, we see Raw Dog in the 100-yard dash. But did he pull a hamstring? Hard to say. Travesty, the first one to the 20-yard line, now at the 25 to the 30, running away with it. Raw Dog picks back up where he was. C. Nicholson is really in there as well for the first spot. My player, for whatever reason, struggling hardcore. Same with Badaki, although I do get a nice little burst there. Right now,
I need a burst.
Is in clear last place, although this is starting to get very close. This is like the Olympics 100-yard dash where everyone finishes very close to each other.
There down the middle. Come on,
Raw Dog all of a sudden takes the lead And we've got Tebow fan right on his heels. I get a huge burst down the field. I'm at the 30-yard line. I'm at the 25. Oh my goodness. It is very close for first place here. It is literally anybody's race. As you can see right now, Tebow and Raw Dog taking a more commanding lead here. Is it going to be Raw Dog? Is it going to be Tebow for the gold? For the gold. It is going to be Tebow takes the first pick.
Yeah.
Tebow takes the
first with a big burst.
Raw Dog takes the second. I finally am not the end of the board. Thank God we are third. God is good. Amen. Say it one more time for me. We get Sean in fourth. Fifth place goes to Ravager. Sixth to C. Nicholson. Then we get seventh with Travesty. Eighth with D. Tart. Ninth with Badaki. We get the Professor, who steals 10th out of nowhere from back in 82, who finishes 11th. And Jesus tore his Achilles on the 5-yard line, and he is literally being carried on a cart to the finish line. He's finished maybe 30 seconds after everyone else.
It's probably meant to be because you won the league last year.
That's true.
You won the league last year. You went from first to last. Yeah. It's only right.
It's only collusion.
Right. I'll take 9, and I'm okay with it.
This is collusion from 100-yard dash. Okay, we're going to enter this draft order now. Team 1 is Tebow fan.
Team 1, Tebow. Second is Raw Dog. You're third. Sean from New Zealand is fourth. Ravager is fifth. C. Nicholson is sixth. Travesty is seventh.
Hold on. Nicholson. Okay. Travesty is seventh. Okay, go.
D. Turns eighth. I'm ninth. The Professor, 10. Back in 82, 11. Jesus is 12.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm just excited that I'm finally not at the end of a draft board in a draft this year. That's good to see.
Yeah. I'm glad that I don't have the same pick. I have the 2 and the 8 in the home league. Now I have 9. I guess 9 is kind of similar. All right.
Charlie. On to the Charlie League now. Big shout out to Bravo. Shout out to everybody. We appreciate y'all for supporting us. A lot of you guys are longtime members. Jesus. Funnily enough, Jesus was supporting us before we were even on YouTube. For real.
Was supporting us when we were giving out jerseys for free.
We were giving out jerseys on Instagram, just trying to build an audience. And Jesus was one of the first people to ever support us. So big shout out to him. Back in 82 is a long-time supporter. A lot of these guys are long-time supporters. Sean, a huge long-time supporter as well. Ravager. So many of you guys. Tebow, you guys have all been supporting for so long. We appreciate you big time. But all right, moving on to the Charlie League. We've got myself, Badaki, ATJ, Easy E, J Stump, El Tigre, Bose, as an L Bose, SD Perkins, Stay Puffed, D Macy, C Bomb, and Mighty Booch. So, how many times should we shuffle this one? Let us know. How many times should we shuffle? It has to be less than 10 spots.
The first one that says it in the chat.
Yes, in the chat. You guys are determining
I see 4.
Okay, so shuffling this 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at the very bottom of the screen. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I like that.
I'm in the middle again.
You're in the middle. All right.
Okay.
Everybody has the same exact odds. Okay. All the settings are the same. Here we go. Starting this bad boy in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. You get a brand new car. It's Mighty Booch.
I'm the reigning champion of this Charlie League as well. So
you are the reigning champ. Mighty Booch comes out the block hot. I'm saying fire hot, super hot fire.
Here we're moving, baby. Come on.
Bose is catching ATJ with a little burst at the bottom of the screen. And right now, no clear loser. Everyone is keeping up with each other. Everyone's getting a little burst as we go. This is maybe the tightest 100-yard dash we have seen thus far. I can't even tell you who's in first right now. We've got J Stump maybe leading the way. He looks like the first across the 40-yard line. Who's going to be the first across the 50? Huge burst from Daniel Macy, but it is Mighty Booch who crosses the 50-yard line first. At the top of the screen, a huge burst from El Tigre. C-Bomb is falling behind. Emergency, call the police, but not for me. Zach at the bottom of the screen,
Here we go.
Not looking like he's got a chance at the 101. Mighty Booch is leading the way heavily. heavily in the middle of the screen, has completely pulled away the Noah Lyles of this competition, setting an expectation. But Badaki with the burst out of nowhere. Who's getting the first pick? Who's getting the first pick? Could it be J Stump, a dark horse in this competition? Is it Badaki with the 101? Oh my God. Oh my God, it's J Stump out of nowhere. Mighty Booch out of nowhere. Macy out of nowhere. Badaki finishes 4th. LT Gray 5th.
I'll take 4th.
LT Gray 5th. I am going to end up, oh my God, I'm going to end up 8th. Finish the cross line. 8th spot for me. Oh my God. What a freaking competition.
I'll take 4th. Wow, what an opportunity. I went from 9th to 4th. Something special is happening. Raiden champion. Hey, that's a good spot. That's a good spot for the 2-peat. Come on.
Wow. That was a lot. That was a lot. I mean, I should be out here calling these dog races and stuff, you know? All right, no props from Badaki for me, I guess. All right. J Stuff ends up first. J Stuff ends up first. Mighty Booch 2nd. Daniel Macy 3rd. Badaki 4th. LT Gray 5th. ATJ 6th. SD Perk 7th. I am 8th. Stay Puffed is 9th. Easy E is 10th. Bows is 11th. And C-Bomb is 12th. So let's go ahead and update that now before we end this stream.
And this is going to be, this is a Super Flex tight end premium league.
Same format, yeah.
Yeah, same format here, so.
All right.
I'll take Lamar Jackson.
2?
Mighty Booch.
Okay.
Then Daniel Macy.
Okay.
Then it's myself.
Okay.
Then it's LT Gray. Then it's ATJ. SD Perk is 7th. You're 8th. Stay Puffed is 9th.
Okay.
Easy E is 10th.
Okay.
Elbows is 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And C-Bomb is 12th.
Okay. So we are locked and loaded. To be honest, though, I feel like in a Superflex league, the position matters a little bit less. I think you can do so many things across the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, that is it for today, guys. I appreciate you big time.
We did get a super chat.
Oh shoot.
From 369.
Okay, let's answer that before we log off.
Yeah, he said just in case, but one question in a star 8. By the way, appreciate you 369. In a star 8, 12 men, is quarterback and tight end in an important position where you would want the elites of that position?
I would say when you look at the draft we did when it was a start 7, yours is a start 8. But if we go back and look at that start 7 draft, think about it in this perspective. Like the latest I'm pushing those positions back is another round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was going to get my elite tight end in round 2, I'm trying to lock it up in round 3. Or, you know, for here, I didn't get a top 3 name, but I got Kincaid in round 4. I'm making sure at minimum to get a tight end in round 5. You know, if I'm aiming for one of the top 3 quarterbacks, I'm doing it in round 4. You know, you just push everything one round back. So maybe I would have gotten a quarterback and tight end in rounds 5 and 6 here in a start 8 instead of rounds 4 and 5.
Yeah, agreed. Push it back and let it fall to you.
But obviously, you know, still important, but not the same importance, right? Because there is another starter to think about in that format. So, all right, guys. That is it today. We appreciate you big time. Again, we should not even be streaming. Genuinely, we have so much work. It stresses me out like every moment of every day right now. So we appreciate you. Thanks for showing love. Thanks for liking so much of our content that we just ended up having to continue to go. The last thing I'll say is, firstly, if you want to watch my guys, that video is out. My guys, 8 players I am stamping my name on this year. Go watch that video right here. Look at this insane thumbnail Badaki made. Insane. Really well done.
Low-key fire, though.
It's incredibly well done.
I'm actually not going to lie. That's crazy.
So that thumbnail or that video is out there. The other thing is, if you don't know, we have another YouTube channel that is going to start launching content this week. So go subscribe to Fantasy Never Stops with Fantasyland. I put both of those links in the chat. And the last thing is, if you want access to our cheat sheet, all right, it is over on the Flock Fantasy website. You can already see the cheat sheet here, 2024 cheat sheet by Fantasyland. This is a document that is going to have all of my sleepers, all of my guys, all of my fades, and positional rankings. This will be updated every single week. Okay, I'm not going to give you access to it, all right? But if you want access to this, it's very simple. All you got to do is be a Motherflocker member with the promo code LAND. I will put a link in the chat for you here. Again, got to use the code LAND, got to be a Motherflocker member. I just put that link in the chat. You also are supporting Badaki Night. You're keeping the lights on, and you're getting a bunch of content in return. But that is it. We appreciate you. We will see you guys very soon. All up.
Love.